is so nice to see you. Welcome to another writing vlog. If you're new here, my name is Marta. I'm an aspiring author currently working on the second book of my debut trilogy, and I am 100% committed to finishing this draft of this book by the end of the year. Now, if you're not new here, you might know that that is going to be a bit of a struggle because we are really behind at this point, and the end of the year is getting closer and closer, and my hope that I will be able to catch up is progressively moving further and further away. So in order to combat that, I want to try and do a 10k word weekend, write 10,000 words over the next 3 days. I've actually got Friday off, so we have 3 days to write 10,000 words, which is going to be particularly tricky because for the last few weeks I've been averaging about 1,000 words per week. We've been writing really slowly. I've been writing every day, but a lot of my writing time has just been staring at the outline, overthinking the outline, trying to move stuff around and then move it back and then move it away again. And I've just gotten myself into this loop where I'm really not sure how to tackle this first half of the third act. I have a couple of chapters coming up that I've just re-outlined and reshuffled around so many times, and I still don't know what the right option is. And a part of what I want to do this weekend is just stop overthinking it, go for it with my current version, which has been in the works for a couple of weeks now, and it's the best I've been able to come up with so far. I'm still not happy with it, but I think at this point I'm not going to be happy with anything until I see it on page, and maybe writing it is going to make me realize that something isn't working or figure out a solution that I hadn't solved before. So basically I just want to go for it, but I want to allow myself to go off outline, but I don't want to spend the full day just thinking about it. I can go off outline, but I can't stop to brainstorm for multiple hours. That's the plan. I'm really hoping a high word count goal is going to help with that, and then at the end of this weekend I'm gonna read back through what I've written and think about it again, and if I want to change it I can, but I just need something on the page so that I'm not editing blank air. I need to be editing something that exists. And technically I've written draft 1 already, so it's not like I've got nothing, but a lot of these chapters are just getting scratched and rewritten all together, and it just feels like I don't have anything to work from. I feel like I just need to do it at this point. There's no more thinking about it that's going to help right now. So we're going to write as much as we can and hope that this fixes my problem. I had to run a couple of errands around town this morning, so we had a bit of a late start, but I went to a cafe while I was out and I got a couple of words in. I think I did 700, 800-ish words, I'm not sure. It's not a bad start, but we need to do at least another 3,000 words today, realistically, so I'm going to go get a drink and switch over to my big computer and just see how far we can get with this, really. I don't really have many plans for this, but the plan is to write, effectively. We're gonna write. Hello, it's a couple of hours later and I'm getting close to 2,000 words for the weekend, which, considering it's dinner time on day 1, we are going a lot slower than I was hoping we would be. I was hoping to get more than 3,000 words. I was kind of hoping to do 4,000 today, 4,000 tomorrow, and then a nice easy 2,000 word day on Sunday so I can have Sunday afternoon off. That might not happen, but I'm just getting close to 2,000 words. I'm at 1,700, and I finished the chapter I started at the cafe this morning, and that went pretty well. I was really in the zone with it. It was entirely new. Everything that I'm writing is entirely new, but this one was not even a rewrite. It's something that I completely skipped the first time round, and that made it a lot easier because it did feel like a first draft. I've now started the next chapter, and that is also new, but it's an existing conversation that I'm reframing with different characters. So it's it has to be rewritten from scratch because they have different voices. And one of the characters is still the same, he's just having the conversation with someone different in a different location. Like, it's a brand new chapter, but it no longer feels brand new to me. So it's going a lot slower, like I can feel myself wanting to edit and wanting to make it good, versus the previous chapter where it was just like super loose writing whatever, and it feels a lot better forward. Like the chapter comes out better if I'm not overthinking it, I know that, but I find that really difficult to do at the minute. But that is the entire premise of this challenge. That is why we are trying to get a whole bunch done, and hopefully I'll just be able to eventually get over myself and just keep writing and get some. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be final. I just need something I can start from, and something that I can read back through and decide if this version of the outline is actually the one I want to keep. Because looking at the outline is no longer giving me enough information to answer that question. That is the only goal of this challenge, and that means that the 10,000 words do not have to be perfect in any way whatsoever. Unfortunately, my brain hasn't gotten the memo yet, but we'll get there. We've just ordered some pizza for dinner. We're gonna have like a little like movie night type situation. But it's quite early, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get like at least another hour of writing in before bed. Possibly from the sofa. I can finally write on my laptop again now that I have a new laptop with a working keyboard and a working everything. Working battery especially. Like, being at the cafe this morning and having so much certainty that my battery was gonna be absolutely fine. I didn't need to stress about charging it first thing in the morning, because if I charge it the night before and then try and use it in the morning, the battery is normally like halfway dead by then. It was so nice to just know that I was gonna get there, that I was gonna open my laptop and be fully charged, and that charge was gonna last me for multiple hours, if not the whole day. Honestly, life-changing. I love it. But yes, we're gonna have some dinner, watch a movie, have a bit of a cozy break, and then we're getting back on the sofa and trying to probably not finish this chapter, but like, I want to get past this current scene. I want to make some progress. Good morning, happy Saturday. It is the second day in my 10k weekend challenge, 3-day weekend challenge. And let me tell you, we are not doing great. I did a bit more writing over breakfast this morning off camera, just like messy hair than in my pajamas sort of thing while having breakfast. I wrote a little under 300 words, so we are at a number that I can't remember, and I don't know where my phone is. We are somewhere above 2,500 words. That number will become relevant in a moment. However, as I was writing this morning, I really wasn't liking what was coming out, and I had a brief pause to just look at my original draft and read through this conversation in the original draft. I'm sort of rewriting a different scenario, and it's just so much better. And I knew that. I knew that that conversation was better the way I had originally planned it out, but the original plot line for these upcoming 5 chapters doesn't really work in the original version. So by writing these chapters just quickly in one weekend, part of what I was hoping to do is figure out if the improvement from the surrounding chapters by changing this plot line was enough of a better level from the original to make it worth it for this one chapter to be worse. And I'm only 2 chapters in, I can already tell you it's not. So I don't think it's worth me continuing with what I'm doing at this point. I basically had a bit of like a crash out moment this morning. I had that realization and then went on YouTube for almost 2 hours because I didn't know what to do. I now know what to do. I am going to start again. Not the whole book, just this little plot line. I think I need to, honestly, and I still don't know how to do that because the original doesn't work and the version I outlined doesn't work. So I think realistically I'm going to go for something like in between. I was just kind of like daydreaming about how I could possibly do that. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. I was kind of absolutely dreading continuing with this chapter as it is this morning, and now that I've decided to start again, I'm actually quite excited to jump back into writing, so surely that has to be a good sign, right? I'm going to keep the words that I've written so far as something that I've done for the challenge, but they're not going to be in the final book, and we're going backwards and we're going to figure it out, and it's going to be bigger and better and more beautiful, and yes. We'll manage. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I don't think I mentioned this during my intro, but I thought it would be fun to do little mini rewards every 2,500 words. So I've just earned the first one, and I kind of wanted to do some baking for it. I am really itching to get back into writing, so I'm not gonna do it immediately, but next time I feel like I need a break, we are doing some baking, and that is going to be my first reward of the day. Welcome to another stream, I suppose. We are doing some writing today. I am currently working on an attempt at a 10k weekend, a 3-day 10k weekend, because I have Friday off. Why, hello there. I am sure that you're wondering what happened to all of the footage from Sunday. I didn't film any, is the short answer. The long answer is that I started feeling a little bit under the weather on Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, so progressively getting slightly worse. I was telling myself that I was entirely fine and just a bit tired, but then I woke up feeling quite ill on Sunday, and I was still kinda okay first thing, so I attempted to continue the 10k weekend without filming it on Sunday, just like to myself, but then I gave up on that really quickly as well. I've considered scrapping the video altogether, but honestly, I'm really proud of the amount of work that I did on Friday and Saturday, and I am still happy with my result, even though I missed an entire day and didn't reach my goal. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how much I actually wrote. My total word count for the weekend was 6,137 words. On Friday, I wrote 2,389 words. On Saturday, I wrote 3,269 words. And then on Sunday, I wrote 479 words. In terms of how many chapters I worked on, that's a little bit more confusing because I started on chapter 42. I wrote chapter 42, 43, and then jumped backwards to chapter 41. And then I wrote chapter 41, 42, and 43 again. And I think I had a brainstorming session after that I didn't count any words for. My battery is about to die, so let's keep this short, but I am actually not unhappy about this. The goal with this weekend for me was to get past this series of chapters that I was really stuck on, and even though doing that involved me going backwards, I think I've come up with a solution that I really like. I am happy with what I wrote during this weekend, which is really good considering I was really just pumping out the words and trying not to overthink. Not overthinking made my writing better, I think, and sometimes I just forget that I'm not good at brainstorming by looking at a blank page. Sometimes I just need to write to figure out ideas, and then I can always go backwards and change them if I need to. So even if I didn't write 10k words, this weekend was very valuable to me in getting past that little blockage point that I was stuck on, and I am still in this like little section of complicated chapters, but I've only got one of those chapters left. and then I'm moving past into the bits that are much easier to write and that I'm really excited to get to. So I think it was really helpful for me to do this, and I'm very pleased that I did. I've decided that this is going to be my last video this year because I want to spend the rest of December just really focusing on finishing the book by the end of the year. I will be vlogging it, but you probably won't be seeing the video until next year, depending on how long it takes me to actually finish the book. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you for following my writing journeys throughout this year. This is my first full year on YouTube on this channel since changing over from my older channel, and I'm really happy with just how things have been going. I really appreciate everyone that though followed me across from my other channel to continue on my journey, and everyone new that's joined me on this one, and I hope to continue making more writing videos for you next year. And I hope that the break helps me actually get a bunch of writing done, and that I have a bunch more excitement and new content ideas for you coming up next year. I hope that your writing projects are also going really well. Feel free to tell me all about them in the comments if you want to. And I hope you have the most wonderful, productive rest of the year, and that you get all of your goals accomplished before the year ends. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.